Welcome to a visit with Experience Jackson. Today we are in the Golf Hall of Fame room here in Jackson County. We're in the city of Jackson. We're at Ella Sharp Golf Course. I'm with Rachel Buchanan from Experience Jackson and Eric Tarian, Golf Course Superintendent and PGA Pro here at Ella Sharp. And this Hall of Fame room is just gorgeous. Eric, talk a little bit about how this came to be here in Jackson.
Well, back in 1980, we had the Jackson Golf Hall of Fame Committee, Golf Committee here, and they decided that there was so much rich history dating back to almost the 1920s and 30s to present day that it needed to be recognized. And they decided to have Ella Sharp Park be the home of the Golf Hall of Fame. They decided to build an addition, and over the last 20 years, 30 years, it's kind of turned into this.
And there's a lot of memorabilia we're going to get a chance to take a look at. And each year, the Golf Hall of Fame Committee elects a new member of its class. And they decide right here in this room who the next committee member is. And you're on that committee as well. Talk a little bit about some of the golfers. You know, it's amazing that you have so many people to put in a Hall of Fame here in a local town like this.
Sure. You know, if you look through the Hall of Fame here, we have small individual plaques, and I'll show you one right here. Nikki Weeks was actually one of our inductees here last year, and we have 70 members now in the Hall of Fame. And if you were to come here, it gives you their bios and all of their accomplishments that essentially got them into the Hall of Fame. Yeah. It's just not necessarily golf tournaments. We actually have high school golf coaches. We have caddy masters. We have greenskeepers. So it's a variety of golfers that have contributed to Jackson golf throughout these years and deservingly recognized.
And everyone that is inducted, and you know, Nikki Weeks last year along with Mike Brocky, outstanding careers. Mike, outstanding career locally. Nikki played golf at Michigan State, won a lot of tournaments locally. Rachel, you are out and about promoting golf in Jackson. Like I said to Eric, we know about all the courses. This history is amazing. Talk a little bit about kind of golf in Jackson and what you've learned about the last couple of years.
Yeah, well, even just the last couple of minutes in exploring this room, it's amazing to see that Jackson has not only sent people to such high levels in golf, but you know, traveling and touring and competing around the world. So this is incredible. You know, with golf in Jackson, it's a unique spot that we have in this country because we're one of the top areas according to how many courses we have per capita, which is absolutely awesome to be able to talk about. But I think it's 18, 19 courses that are public courses in Jackson County for people to come and play and visit at all different levels and all different styles. And that's been really exciting to talk about and to share with people while we're out on the road.
Yeah, and there's a lot of fans of golf in general in Jackson. Can people come in and stop by and poke around the room?
Absolutely. You know, as long as we're open. We're here daily, 7 days a week, other than holidays. And we kind of encourage everyone to come in and take a look. We do have a lot of stuff here behind us and a lot of rich history. It's not a 5-minute tour.
Yeah.
It's a time-consuming, looking over each detail, and once you go through here, you'll get an opportunity to really enjoy and appreciate golf history here in Jackson.
Yeah, it's amazing. Of course, Dave and Mike Hill, long-time legends. You'll see a lot of their memorabilia here. Elaine Crosby, and even Brian Stewart. So very cool. And those are, you know, those are some of the professional golfers, but golf in Jackson is driven by the local golfers competing in those local tournaments. And one thing that I'm amazed is how much those local tournaments mean to those guys. Is it like that everywhere, or is Jackson special, Eric?
I think Jackson is special. I think that Jackson is recognized throughout the state for highly competitive, very good golfers. So I see it from other communities that if you are from Jackson, that you're probably a pretty good player. I think that you'll find in other state tournaments here that oftentimes that it's harder to win a Jackson tournament than it is to win another outside tournament here in the state.
Yeah. And well, let me expound on that. We have guys competing, winning senior events, big time events. It's all ages of success in this town.
It is. You can certainly start with our top amateur, which has been Steve Madalena throughout the years. Michigan Amateur champion 3 times. Todd Marston won the Michigan Amateur. Denny Vass won the Michigan Amateur. But then you get get to our local professionals here, you got Ron Berman, you've had Gary Robinson, and even familiar face Greg Zeller winning the Michigan Senior Open. So you take these professionals and highly ranked amateurs that compile a lot of tournaments here in the Michigan, which once again enriches our golf heritage here.
Yeah, and Eric's actually one of the best golfers I've ever met in my life too. Now, when you're out promoting the courses, you'll have to talk about this Hall of Fame room, but you do talk about more than just the courses when you're promoting Jackson, but this is just another stop on the list.
Yeah, between April and October each year, we put together stay and play packages, so people from out of town can come in and experience the variety of courses. They can add on things like this. We make those suggestions while they're a part of it as well. And so we kind of take care of them, not only like giving them ideas of different kinds of courses that they can play, but also where they can stay and how they can enjoy the community at the same time. So it's a good package.
And right outside this room, you guys have a simulator, and you're getting prepared to add a second simulator due to the demand. So I think that'll increase the traffic in the Hall of Fame room, but talk about the need for a second simulator and when that's coming.
Well, certainly during the downtimes, wintertime, everybody's chomping at the bit to get back outside. So our golf simulator, we've had it for about 7 years now, and what's happened is that we currently have a 96 member golf league. So at 48 teams, that's an hour a week, so you're at 48 hours. We have 5 groups that regularly book, so that's another 15. So we haven't even opened up the doors yet, and we're already booked 60 hours a week. So the need for a second simulator is definitely there, so we can allow the public to get in. The great thing about it is that the second simulator is going to be what's called the Apogee. And Apogee is kind of like hello Alexa, hello Google, and it's going to be voice activated, and actually the tracking system will be all laser. So for those of you that are interested in club fitting, want to know how far you hit it, it's going to be fantastic. So we're looking forward to that. Look forward to that for next season. Construction will start here shortly, and hopefully we'll have it installed by Memorial Day.
Well, Eric, I would love to learn a little bit more about how golf started in Jackson. What's the origin?
Sure. Well, actually, golf started back in 1898, and surprisingly, the first holes here in Jackson were located on the corner of Wisner and Ganson. So currently right now there's a Speedway gas station there, but the first holes were actually designed there by a woman by the name of Carla Carter, and she had just a handful of holes there to try to introduce and bring the game here to the United States. And from there, what happened was that then she got a group of about 40 people together, and they decided to build what's called Meadow Heights Golf Club. And Meadow Heights is if you go here locally in Jackson down Francis Street, you'll see Bird, you'll see golf, and you'll see Meadow Heights. And that down those roads is where the original clubhouse was at. And that clubhouse and golf course was from around 1905 to 1925. And then unfortunately, the clubhouse had a fire and totally destroyed the clubhouse. Well, at that time, all the membership then decided that we need to expand and go from a 9-hole course to an 18-hole course. And today, that golf course is now the Country Club of Jackson, located out on Horton Road.
Yeah, I'm trying to picture it being there. It's a little more industrial now, but
it is, absolutely.
What a cool backstory.
Absolutely. And you got to start somewhere, and that's always the good first piece of information, and that's where golf basically was born and originated from.
And I imagine that you get to spend a lot of time in here. You get to go, literally behind the glass sometimes. There's got to be something that's your absolute favorite in here that's special for you.
I do. And actually, when I come in here, I see it every day for all these years, but there's times where I actually have missed something, and I learn something every once in a while in here too. This is my favorite piece, and this is a putter here that was donated by Phil Marston. We lost Phil Marston several years ago, and Phil was a tremendous golfer. Not only professional, he was a head professional here in Jackson County for many years. His son Todd gone on to Michigan State and won numerous tournaments here in Jackson. But the reasons why this is my favorite item here is because Phil Marston, as a junior, won the 1961 Western Junior Amateur. And the significance of that is that the Western Golf Association was probably one of the longest, most popular organizations at the time. Not only did they have the junior tournament, they also ran the Western Amateur Tournament, which in 1961 was won by Jack Nicklaus here at Point of Woods in Michigan. And then they also hosted the Western Open, which was the professional tournament, which was won by Arnold Palmer here in Blythefield in the state of Michigan. It's the what if, because my understanding is that the junior and the amateur and the professional the following year would have had an opportunity to play each other. So that would have been Phil Marston with Jack Nicklaus and Arnold Palmer.
Well, I had no idea of that history. This is a little bit more mainstream history, of course, and it's kind of cool to still see the Alro on Brian Stewart's shirt when you talk about legacy, and of course starts here with Dave Hill. Talk about these golf bags and kind of what these players mean to Jackson.
Sure. Well, certainly when you talk about Jackson golf history, these are the four majors right here. You're talking about Dave Hill here, who was numerous winner on the PGA Tour, along on the Senior Tour and Ryder Cup member. Mike Hill, who actually started his career back in 1960s, late 60s, and actually won at Doral twice on the PGA Tour. He had a hiatus where he wasn't on the tour, but certainly went back on the Senior Tour and was one of the greatest senior players to ever play on that tour.
He went for a while as kind of being one of the most successful. He had won more than anyone at the time, correct?
Absolutely. And it was, at that time, I was a young guy. I enjoyed watching him. I always wanted to watch him every week. And it was exciting to root for somebody from Jackson. You know, then of course we go to Elaine Crosby. Elaine won twice on the LPGA Tour. Was in the top money list for several years. Not only her playing on the LPGA Tour, but for fundraising, what she's done here locally with the Wendy's charity and bringing a lot of her LPGA professionals here, not only for us here in Jackson to be able to see to play, but the contributions that she's made outside of her playing abilities. And then currently we get to Brian Stewart, our Napoleon native here, who will be also teeing it up here this weekend in the Sony Open. Currently 175,000, so he's got some playing to do. But once again, when you had an opportunity to grow up and Mike and Dave play, a lot of Jackson people follow Brian Stewart, even to this day on the app, and cheering him on and hoping the best for him. So these are the four heavyweights right here in Jackson Golf. But to be honest, everybody here in the Hall of Fame all have a contribution to make here to Jackson Golf, which makes this very special.
Well, thank you for giving us the tour. We won't spoil everything because we want you to come visit and check it out for yourself. And hopefully Eric is here when you do get a chance so you can learn about some of this history. This is a visit with Experience Jackson at the Jackson Golf Hall of Fame.